So for this activity, we're using transformations to determine whether two figures are congruent. And you can actually do some pretty cool stuff in this activity to explore that. Let me show you what I mean. So on this first shape here, first notice I zoomed in so I could see it a little bit better. You can drag the red shape over on top of the other one. So you can drag the pre-image to the image for any of these if it's a translation. Of course, if it's a reflection or a rotation, you might need to do that as well. And you can do that by right-clicking on the red shape and going to rotate. And then you can rotate either clockwise or counterclockwise, or you can flip. And remember, flip is the same thing as a reflection. So I could flip this vertically or horizontally. For some of these, you might need to do one or two things, or even more. So you might need to reflect and then translate, or rotate and then reflect. Experiment with it and see what happens. You may even need to resize the shape. And remember, if you're resizing it, that's actually a dilation. So once you've figured out how the shapes are related by moving them around, there's some text boxes here where you can say whether they're congruent and list which transformations you used. So for example, you might say, first I reflected the pre-image and then I translated it. Whatever you did, you can write about it there. Now on this next page over here, there's a little checkbox question. See, it asks you, whoop, hang on. There we go. Let me zoom out a little bit. Boop, much better. So this activity asks you which of these transformations always produce congruent figures. And you can answer by moving the checkbox. See how I can do that? I can just drag the checkbox wherever it belongs. And then you can respond down here in the text box. And this last activity, it asks you to fold an index card in half. You can use any rectangular piece of paper that you want to use. Then just follow the instructions and use that little toy or manipulative that you've made to figure out the pairs of the congruent sides between the triangles that you created. So I hope you have fun with this activity. It's kind of neat. It's a little bit different, and we can use it to see how transformations are related to congruent figures.